So let's welcome Paki Gauba on our MYB talk show. She is a founder and director of Reflux Invista Limited. And let's listen from her about her successful career and her activities and her lifestyle. So, Paki, over to you. Please tell us about yourself and your
Thank you so much,
activities.
sir. Yes, thank you so much, sir, for such a generous welcome. I really, really appreciate that, and I'm so glad to be on this platform. So, thank you so much for having me over here. That is first. And talking about myself, I've had a roller coaster ride, to be very honest. I'm 20, and I work with so many organizations already. I work with Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. I worked with Nepal Institute of International Cooperation and Engagement as an outreach head. I worked with Kutniti, I worked with Belarusian Institute of Strategic Studies, Belarus. I worked with Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, Government of India. So I've worked in different domains as an anchor, as a writer, as a script writer, or somewhere there are times when I also give voiceovers. And additionally, I am leading this particular company called the Conflux Vista Limited. We're registered in the United Kingdom. We've got a team here. We've got a team in the UK, and I've written 2 books. I've worked on 2 books. So to be very honest, my life has mostly been about work, but it's not that I do not procrastinate, and I do embrace procrastination a lot.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
So, how you handle all these, diverse activities and how you fit it into 24 hours? What is your motivation in all these things?
So my okay, so to be very honest, the idea of doing something new and standing apart from the world is my motivation, and I think my failures do act as the motivation because there are times when I'm not able to do something and I see others doing that thing and like, why can't I do this thing? So, that is somewhat my motivation, and I'm an overthinker. I overthink a lot, and I'll be very, very honest about it. So whenever I have to avoid overthinking, and like, let's just start working, it'll automatically go away. So I think all the negatives that I have in me act as a positive, and that is how I feel motivated, because that is how it goes. Also, yes, of course, my teachers have been very, very motivating. My school teachers, my school principal, Mrs. Marlena Adwalia ma'am. I used to fear stage a lot long ago, but now it's not the case. I can speak very normally to you. I can speak very normally on the stage. My English teacher, Miss Nasreen Suleiman, she's one of the bestest teachers I've ever come across. So these people have always, stood by my side like a rock. And yes, these people are a reason, but I do get a feeling that I have to turn things around for myself, because you see, that is how it is. And one more person that I'd like to mention, who acts like my godfather, who is like my godfather, that is Ambassador Vishnu Prakash sir. He's been there for me always, no matter what happened. But he stood there by my side.
Mhm. Great. So, tell us about your success stories.
Success stories. Okay. So, I always believe in having short-term goals, right? For example, when I started Conflux, I knew that, me and Isha basically knew we're leading this thing together. So we knew that the first thing that we have to do is we have to make a difference. We have to get associated with, for example, 10 people, 5 people. And as soon as we started doing that, we slowly and steadily, move forward. So, I've had these small success stories. I wouldn't say that I'm extremely successful right now, because obviously I have a lot to do, and I am preparing for MBA right now, and I'll be going forward for MBA. I'm also pursuing data science, and I did my graduation in international relations. So the thing is, I wouldn't say that I'm successful, really, really successful, but yes, I think that I have achieved some things. For example, the first book that I came up with. So I came up with my first book when I was, I think, in grade 12, right? So coming up with such a thing in that period of time was a big deal at that very point of time. My second book, Dear Papax, it was read like very, very widely, and I didn't really expect that because it launched during the COVID-19 pandemic. But it was read a lot. And talking about my success stories, yes, of course, I can say that I secured a good percentage in my graduation, which was very unexpected. So I think that is again an achievement.
So what do you feel? What are your unique special features or points in you which help you to get this kind of success, in various
Alright.
domains?
Yes, so I really love working in diverse backgrounds, and what I feel is that no matter what you're doing, you should always know there's a right time to exit. If you do not know that there's a right time to exit, you'll be always stuck in the same, and that is absolutely wrong. Whenever I think that this is not the right place for me and I'm not able to learn anything, I just leave. So I think the first very good thing about me is I don't fear letting go of things. I don't fear that. Yes, sometimes they do hurt. No matter if I'm working with an organization, it sometimes feel like I'm just leaving this thing, and I am so associated with people over here now. But the thing is, there's always a right time to exit. There are organizations that I've just worked with for about a month or two, but then there are organizations with I'm working for like 1.5 years, 2 years. So it is a difference. There is a difference. I always go to the places wherein I get to learn something. If I do not get to learn something, I just exit. So this is just one thing that I really like about myself. And yes, of course, I'm a very very curious person, and I think curiosity takes the entire credit over here.
Hmm, that's nice.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
how you keep motivating yourself, because you're doing so many activities at a time in diverse fields. Sometime you may get success, sometime you may not get. But then how you come across these difficulties, how you overcome it by your persistence, and what exactly, how do you cope up with all these things, failures, success, and again rise up? So how does,
Yes,
yeah.
I really get your question here, sir. So whenever it hasn't happened that I didn't have any sort of failure or whatsoever, a number of times I've failed in numerous things, and these are those weeks when I just relax, procrastinate, and I'm on Netflix for the entire day, and I'm just binge watching series. I'm not doing anything. But what happens with me is it's pretty weird. But what happens is that whenever I'm relaxing and spending time with my own self like that, I'm saying that this is not how things work, and I'm in a very negative mode, very pessimistic. After a week, I myself realized that what am I doing with myself? I'm just binge watching things. That is not how I am, and I just close my eyes and think that is this what I had to do in my life? No, this is not something that I had to do, and I just come as a stronger person whenever things like that happen to me. It is a very normal thing, I'd say, because not every time during school I secured 100 on 100 in mathematics. In fact, that never happened. Not every time, not every time I secured 100 on 100 in English as well. So it's about being a better version of yourself. There are times when I fail, but then I always think that I am not competing with anyone else, but I'm competing with my own self. And, I'm just trying to be a better version of myself. And this way, the way I am being right now, I am just being the worst version of myself. So I should just stand up and start working. So this is how I cope up with my failures. But successes, you don't even need to cope up with. They just come, and you don't even know that where did they vanish, and somewhere like things again get back to normal. So this is the thing. And to be very honest, people in my hostel, because I was in hostel during my graduation, they've been very cooperative. My parents have been very cooperative, very cooperative. No matter how harsh I am on them, they wouldn't say things to me because they know that sometimes my workload is way too much. So they won't complain about things. I really respect them for that. And yes, of course, my teachers, they've been there throughout, support system.
Nice to explain how you manage both. Okay, tell us about any message which you would like to give to our audience.
Sure, sir. So this is something that I think everybody should know. No matter what you're doing, what field you are going into, because there are times when, even I feel confused about doing things. So just remember one thing, just ask yourself one thing: goal kya hai? When you know that what is your goal, you'll be able to accomplish whatever you desire to. You'll be able to, give people what you actually want to give. For example, a number of people want to become influencers today, right? Not everybody becomes an influencer. What happens is that they divert themselves and they, shift their direction. So just set your aim, and it's okay even if you don't have an aim. Just the will to do something sometimes work, but you need to be very sure that what is that thing that really inspires you, what is the thing that you are most associated with, what is it that touches your heart. And when you're writing, just know one thing, that you have to focus on how, what, when, where, why. When you know all these questions, when you've asked all these questions to yourself in terms of writing, in terms of your life, trust me that there's nothing stopping you, because there'll be no loopholes in whatever you're doing. So ask these questions to yourself, and you'll be flying high. Yes. Thank you so much.
Great, great. Now, last but not least, very important question. You have to tell us about your top 3 desires which you want to complete in a next, time span, in near future.
All right. So this is a very, very difficult question, to be very honest, because we as people who write, we're very clueless about things most of the time. And we cannot aim at one thing, because even when I sit to write, I can work on a plot, but then I just leave an open area for myself wherein I can explore things, wherein I can explore myself. So obviously this lands me up to a very, very difficult question. So the first desire that I have is I want Conflux to go big, and we want to make more differences. So, right now we've got about 100 people associated with us, and we have started with this venture called Converse with Conflux. And we have just started with this. So we want people to be impacted by it. We want people to be associated with it. And this is the first thing that I really, really want to do. And the second thing, the desire, it's been about 1.5 years or so, I haven't taken any sort of break, because the COVID-19 pandemic came to me as a very different situation. I got a lot of work and I got associated with so many organizations. So I think I need a break, and I'll definitely go on a vacation. So that is the second desire, of course. And the third desire is I really want to land up in a good college as of now, because you see the Indian education system talks about grades and all of these things, but I think I, as a person, never relied completely on grades for a good college. So, you see, I have to work on certain things as of now on myself. I want to be a better version of myself in the coming days. And also, of course, the third book, I have started working on my third book. And yes, I wouldn't disclose the idea as of now, because I'm still working on it. But yes, that's the third desire. I really want to come with it very, very soon. Thank you.
Yes, great. Paki, you have given us very wonderful talk today. MYB Talk Show is thankful to you and wish you all the best in your all the endeavors, and wish you all the best success.
Thank you so much, sir. Means a lot. Thank you so much for having me here today. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.